The 2021 World Series of Poker has not been kind to us so far. It's time for a change of venue. No better place to play poker than the Orleans, especially when two ACR pros have already won huge field tournaments. Ebony Kenny and Bet on Drew both shipped over $40,000 each in two different events. The only two multi-day trophy events. When I heard there's going to be a $300 200K, I felt like it was my time to shine. Let's get in there. Almost max late reg, 20 minutes remaining. We got multiple bullets in the chamber at $300 a piece. Let's sit down at 500, 1,000, and let's run up a big stack and make it to day 2 at the Orleans $200,000 guaranteed multi-day event. What do you think happened here? Is this a crime scene?
Jeff Boski Investigations.
Look at this camera work. God, they better nominate me for something. With blinds at 500, 1,000, 1,000, action folds to the cutoff who opens to 2,200. We're in the big blind with Jack 5 suited, aka Motown. We put in the call. And the flop comes Ace 9 6 2 diamonds. Of course, we checked the pre-flop raiser. He's going to have the Ace X advantage. After he bets 2,500, our options are calling or jamming. I didn't drive all the way to the Orleans to play passively out of position with Jack High. We put in the jam, putting my man to the test, but our tournament life is on the line. He thinks for about 5 seconds and folds, and we're off to a good start. As a result of playing fearless and aggressive, we chip up without much showdown to 46,000 chips from our 20,000 starting stack. And then we look down at pocket kings in middle position, raise it up to 2,500 at 600, 1,200. And to our surprise, the cutoff puts in the 3-bet. They have us covered. They make it 7,000 chips. Our options are setting the trap or going for that 4-bet. Sizing is a little bit weird. I think there could be an argument for just a 4-bet rip, but we don't want to lose our customer. We want to build this pot. We want to keep him enticed with all of his lesser holdings. So I make it 18,000 to go. He doesn't take long before he rips his whole stack in the middle. If he has aces, we can still re-enter. We call and he shows ace, queen. Let's hold. The flop comes 10, 8, 5 with a backdoor club draw. Let's keep it clean, dealer. The turn is a 3, a complete brick. Let's fade the 3-outer, and the river is a deuce. We hold, and we have almost 100,000 chips. With blinds at 1,200, 2,400, we've chipped up to 80,000. When Under the Gun +1 opens to 6,000, a European male. They have us covered. Action folds to us on the button, and we look down at King, Queen of Clubs. I think we have a lot of options here, and folding is not one of them. If we had more chips, I like a 3-bet. If we had less chips, I like a jam. But as played, I think a flat call in position is just fine. So we put in the 6,000, and to our surprise, both blinds come along for the ride. We have a 4-way pot with King, Queen of Clubs. The flop comes Queen 10 6 1 club. When action checks to us, I'm feeling pretty confident. It's time to get that value. I bet 15,000. The small blind, who has us covered, puts in the raise to 40,000. What are they repping? Queen Jack, pocket tens, ace queen. Not really in love with this spot, believe it or not. They're forcing us to play for stacks or to fold. These are our options, and I think the best option with our backdoor club draw 5% equity juicer is go all in. You got to take a lot of risks to win tournaments. You can't just bet fold top pair, even in a 4-way. Although I don't like it, my gut says to go for it. We're all in. It's about a min raise back to him, and he goes into the tank. 34,000 chips, and he eventually puts in the call. Also has King Queen offsuit. We're free rolling. He immediately looks at me and says, I thought I could get you to fold that hand. I look right at him and say, ditto. And we chop it up with a little bit of dead money. Moving on. Clubs. All the clubs. Oh, free roll. No fun. With blinds at 1,500, 3,000. We're under the gun +1 with the Ochos. Of course, we're going to open this bad boy up with just under 30 blinds and make it 7,000 to go. Action folds to the Hijack, who has been playing pretty crazy so far, and he 3-bets me to 20,000. I immediately think it's time to get busy living or get busy dying, until action folds around to the big blind, who is all in for 28,000. That does change things a little bit. He's going to have a pretty tight range. Although 8s are a pretty strong hand, I got to give respect to the 3-better and especially the all-in player. And we make a disciplined laydown. 3-better has pocket queens. The big blind has ace-jack. The board comes out ace, jack, 9, 8, deuce. Queens were never folding to our jam, and we would have got the double up plus some. Instead, we lose 7,000 chips. And those are the swings. We can't be mad. We made the correct decision in the moment. Pocket queens greater than pocket 8s. And we move on to the next hand. With blinds at 1,500, 3,000. Action folds to the cutoff, who opens to 7,000. The button eagerly ships in 20 blinds, which is 60,000 chips. The small blind folds. We're in the big blind, and I look down at pocket aces. I can't believe my eyes. Look at this action. Hopefully we get action from both players, but we'll definitely get action from the all-in player. He is a viewer of the vlog, elderly Caucasian male, age 50 to 65. Of course, we shove all in with aces. The original razor folds, and we're up against pocket 7s. The board comes out clean. We eliminate a player and add a 70,000 uptick to our chip stack. Sitting pretty with 170,000 now. I love the Orleans. Great venue, 9-handed, competent dealers. It isn't exactly the win, but for the $300 price point and a $200K guarantee, great value. Blinds at 1,500, 3,000. Action folds to us in the small blind, and we look down at pocket 9s. There are various ways to approach a small blind strategy. GTO dictates that there's a lot of limping. I like to be a little more aggressive and have a lot more 3xing in my range. So I just over 3x it with pocket 9s to 10,000. My opponent in the big blind started this hand with 70,000. If they want to jam, I'm game. They think about it, and they do jam all in. I snap call and see the bad news. They have pocket jacks. Blind versus blind, a cooler. That's tournament poker. We need some help. And here's the video. Very lucky. Very lucky. With blinds at 2,000, 4,000, we have 220,000 in our stack. Feeling pretty confident. When action folds around to me in the cutoff, I look down at queen jack off. Not a premium, but not trash either. I think we can open this up to a 2.5x sizing, 10,000 to go. Everybody folds except a local in the big blind who puts in the call. And we see a flop of jack, 9, 3, 2 hearts. We do not have a heart, but when it checks to us, I think we have to value bet here. 15,000 sounds like a good amount. And my opponent check calls. I believe we have the best hand. Let's see what the turn brings. The turn is a queen of spades, putting the double flush draw out there. Question is, how much do we bet? I think 40,000 is a good amount, although the board is very wet. At the same time, we block the top 2 pairs, and we do unblock the 8-10 and king-10 combos, which are going to be a problem. So when my opponent check calls, I'm still confident in our hand strength. And the river brings the deuce of hearts. Front door hearts gets there. If my opponent now jams, I'm going to puke all over the table. But they do check. Could still be trapping with a flush, assuming I'm just going to barrel it off. But I think we're going to have to take the more cautious line and check back here. Realize our equity. And my opponent shows the 10-9 of spades. Huge combo draw on the turn. But in the end, a pair of 9s is no good. Top 2 is good, and we take down a very nice pot with the queen jack offsuit. In the zone. With blinds at 2,000, 4,000, we have 220,000 in our stack, and we look down at pocket jacks under the gun +1, 2.5x it to 10,000. Hijack puts in the call, and so does the big blind. 3 ways to a flop. Let's hope there's no overcards. No overcards at all. In fact, the flop is jack 10 6. 2 hearts, we have top set. There is some merit for slow playing top set in some circumstances, but not this one. The board is still wet. There's going to be a lot of draws still available on this texture. King, queen, queen 9, 8, 9, ace X of hearts, etc. So we want to get it while the getting's good. We put in a C-bet of 15,000. Hijack folds, and the big blind, who says he's a viewer of the vlog, jams it all in. Of course we snap call. We're up against 8 high with the hearts, and we have a very emotional video. Let's hold. We win some small pots and chip up to 340,000 when this hand comes up. My opponent raises under the gun +1, and I've 3-bet this opponent 2 times in the last 2 orbits, and they folded both times. This time we look down at ace king offsuit, a premium. I do the same exact sizing. After he opens for 17,000, I make it 50,000. I kind of expect for him to just rip it in my face with any pair, any ace, but he puts in the call. They do have us covered. Let's play a pot. The flop comes 9, 8, 3, 2 hearts. We don't have any 9s, 8s, 3s, or hearts, but we could continue our story representing an overpair. I think his range is going to be very mid-pair heavy, so we check it back. Ace high might still be good. Ace queen, king queen might be flatting our 3-bet. The turn brings the ace of clubs, 2 flush draws out there, and we have top. Time to go for some value, or is it? Is my opponent going to put in the call with his mid-pair type hands, pocket 7s, pocket 10s? Does he always have ace queen or ace jack here? At what frequency? We don't block hearts or clubs. Makes it more likely they might have a flush draw, so it's good to protect our equity with our top. But in game, I just felt like a check was correct, so we check it back. Tight is right. The river is a brick, 4 of spades, and my opponent goes for his stack and bets 90,000 chips. Pretty large bet considering the action. As played, our hand is extremely under-repped. Against a smaller bet, I probably raise, but against this sizing, it kind of polarizes his hand strength to bluff or a high value holding, such as ace queen, pocket 8s, pocket 9s, etc. So we put in the call, and my opponent shows pocket 9s. A cooler. Could have lost a lot more if we bet the flop or the turn. So, pretty big setback, but our tournament life is still intact. Let's finish this night strong. 3 men enter, 3 men leave.
And 1 woman.
What?
What? Oh, I was in the background.
Oh. There you have it. We all bagged.
Hell yeah.
How much?
167.
111.
Almost 300, 297. 20K starting, pretty much against all odds, but we did it. I'll be back for day 2 in 2 days. Let's get that trophy
Going
and
3 for 3, baby.
Bottle of bourbon. I'll donate the trophy to the house if I win.
I'll donate the bourbon to my stomach.
And we have made it to day 2 of the Orleans $200,000 guaranteed event. 1 bullet. $300 in, hopefully $40,000 out, with Ebony and Drew winning the first 2 trophy events. It's only fitting that I ship the 3rd. Let's run pure and win our all-ins. I just really felt in the zone on day 1. Didn't talk much, just really focused. Didn't look at my phone as much. And of course, some of that might be attributed to getting better distribution of cards or running better in all-in situations or flop scenarios. And I get it. All right, how you doing?
I'm doing better than expected.
Yeah,
We're sitting on 265K right now. So we're in the, I'd say, middle-ish of the pack.
All right, I got about the same. Let's do this.
Let's do it!
2 hours at a time.
Tournament players, just a couple minutes left on your break. Please feel free to return to your seats again, tournament players.
With blinds at 6,000, 12,000, sitting on about 20 bigs, under the gun +1 with ace queen, so we bring it in for a raise to 26,000. Twitch streamer TSB is in the cutoff, who has us covered, and he puts in the call. The small blind also calls. The big blind folds. We're 3 ways to a flop. Let's see that ace, dealer. The dealer says, no problem, Boski. How about 2 aces? Looks great to me. I down bet to 20,000. TSB calls, and the small blind folds. I'm putting TSB on worse aces and a lot of mid-pair type holdings. And we're going to size this for 3 streets of pure value. I assume that ace-king is going to be a 100% pure 3-bet in his position. So when the turn brings a king, I'm not worried. Very unlikely he's flatting pocket kings or ace-king like I said before. So we're going to keep going for value. I size up to 60,000, setting up that 60% river jam. TSB puts in the call. Everything is going according to plan. And then the river brings a king. Now on the surface, I know you're thinking, Boski, bet for value. Think about what hands are going to call compared to the line of check call. Of course, we only lose to pocket kings. Not really concerned. But now all of his pairs have been counterfeited. He now has aces and kings with 10 high or 7 high. So he's never going to call a bet. I think our best play here is to check call. He's always going to bet an ace. He's never going to fold an ace. It's a chop. So we check it over to my man, and he bets 60,000. A very small bet. Makes me think he really has an ace. Small chance he has pocket kings. We're never going to get value from worse hands if we check raise. So I just put in the call, and he shows us ace 10. Miracle runner for the chop. But hey, better than him hitting a 10 and getting the whole pot. We chop it up, and we move on to the next hand. Exactly 1 orbit later, I'm under the gun +1 with jack 10 of clubs and just over 20 bigs. Too much to jam, probably too tight to fold. Probably fold our offsuit varieties, but as played, we're going to raise it up. Same size and everything, 26,000 to go. Same opponent. TSB puts in the call, and both blinds call. We're 4 ways to a flop. And the flop comes. King, king, 5, 1 club. I think a bet is in order here. We have all the ace, king, king, queens, pocket aces, pocket queens that we're going to be betting for value. We don't have to bet big. The board is very dry. We're going to use the same exact sizing that we had on the ace 3 board last orbit. Keep it consistent. I bet 20,000. TSB calls, and the blinds fold. I'm ranging him at about the same. A lot of mid pairs and a few king X's. We do have some king jack and king 10 blockers in our hand. It's one way to think about it. When the turn brings a 4, I could definitely shut down here, but I want to apply max pressure and continue telling the story that I have trip kings or a very large 2 pair. So when I bet again, it's going to be tough for him to continue without a king here. I use the same exact sizing as the ace-queen hand. I make it 60,000 to go, which easily sets up that river jam. And he puts in the call. And we're now done with this hand. The river is an offsuit 9. I check. He thinks about it and checks back king, jack off. A sign of respect, knowing that I'm not going to call with worse. And he's happy to take down the pot. And we lose almost half our stack. Caught bluffing with our muffin. Just under 70 players remain. We're getting close to that elusive multi-day $200,000 prize pool guaranteed final table. Action folds to the hijack, a viewer of the vlog who said hi on break. He min raises to 32,000. Action folds to me in the small blind. I look down at Alan Jackson suited. Great spot to jam our 12 bigs in the middle. I do just that, and my opponent quickly calls. Uh-oh. We show the ace jack, and he shows us ace 9 of clubs. Big hold, big double. You gotta win your all-ins to win poker tournaments. Here's the video. Good. And we are out of the Orleans. 200,000 guaranteed. Almost 50,000 for first, but that doesn't matter when you get 67th for 1455. Hopes were high, and it all came crashing down. And I'm out.